Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan, this is Inside the Cave on 96.5 FM and 965thecave.com. Sports talk radio with a local angle, where we give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports, interview area coaches and players, and get you ready to start your day.
Good morning.
Now grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass, because it's time to go Inside the Cave.
Good morning, Thursday, August 6, 2020. Ian Wentz, John Kane inside the cave with you this morning. We're here till 9 o'clock talking all things sports locally, statewide, and some national stuff, of course. John, how are you?
Well, good morning, Ian. Good morning, Lenawee. I am well.
That's good. Big thank you to Jeff Bowman for filling in for me yesterday. Day after elections are normally days I do not wake up early because I'm normally up late. So big thank you to Jeff. I'll cover for him on the show tomorrow.
It happens on Thursdays too, doesn't it?
What?
Well, it happened
Not
today.
liking to wake up.
Yeah, it happened
No, I
today.
did.
Go away, let me sleep for the love of God!
There you go.
My last alarm woke me up. But we're here. Phone number to call if you want to get in on any of these conversations, 517-265-4000. Let's get right to it.
Now for an Inside the Cave sports update.
All right, we got this news just coming in from Siena Heights University here in Adrian. They have decided to allow select sports to compete during the fall 2020. Football, men's and women's soccer, men's and women's golf, and men's and women's cross country will begin competition this fall, as long as the university feels it's safe and in line with state and local guidelines. Women's volleyball will be moved to the spring to continue to abide by the governor's executive order for use of indoor facilities. All sports seasons will conclude in the spring with the conference and national championships for the Siena Heights University Saints. So good news there for football right now. Seems to be a go. The Big Ten offered a stark and serious warning Wednesday, just as the Athletic Conference unveiled its testing protocol and fall sports schedule in this COVID-19 area. If things continue to get out of hand with regard to spread of the virus, there, of course, will not be a season. We've heard several universities dealing with that in their football programs. A group representing more than 1,000 Big Ten football players has called for improved safety measures. The letter is signed by players of the Big Ten and lists a pair of defensive backs, Hunter Reynolds and Benjamin St. Juste, as media contacts. Reynolds is a senior for Michigan whose playing time has come mostly on special teams. The other started his career at Michigan before transferring to Minnesota. So calling for more improved safety measures. Many things changed with the Big Ten's release of its upcoming football schedule yesterday, including Michigan State's rivalry with Michigan and Ohio State. It means the Spartans are expected to play in Ann Arbor in back-to-back seasons for the first time since 67-68 in a game moved up a week to October 3rd, but it also means MSU may not have to face both the Wolverines and Ohio State on the road in the same year moving forward. So we'll get to these schedules a little bit later on in the show. Michigan State, well, we'll get to it right now. Just run through the order of when they're going to play these teams. So September 5th, Minnesota. Next week, Maryland, Northwestern, Penn State, Michigan. A bye week, October 10th. The 17th versus Ohio State, Rutgers, Iowa, Indiana. A second bye week, Nebraska. And then an open week on November 28th. What's it look like for Michigan? They'll have Purdue the 5th of September, Minnesota, Penn State, Rutgers, Michigan State. A bye week, October 10th, at Indiana, at Ohio State, Wisconsin, Maryland, another bye week, at Northwestern, bye week, and Big Ten title game is listed as December 5th as of right now. Hours after the Big Ten released its revamped schedule, MSU became the latest program to have a player opt out of the 2020 season. Jacob Panasiuk, the Spartans' expected starting defensive end, announced on Twitter he plans to take a red shirt for his fourth season due to concerns over the pandemic. 6'3", 245-pound Panasiuk is a 2-year starter who has started 23 straight games. He's a native of Illinois. Would have been MSU's leading returner with 18.5 career tackles for loss, 8 sacks among his 80 stops. Do the Tigers now have the strongest farm system in all of baseball? The new top 100 prospect list released by the MLB Tuesday includes 5 Tigers, most in the upper half of those rankings. They are number 7, Spencer Torkelson, number 8, Casey Mize, number 26, Matt Manning, 33, Riley Green, and Tariq Skubal at number 51. And no man has ever kicked a 65-yard field goal in a game, but Matt Prater thinks he can do it. Yes, that Matt Prater, who turns 36 on Monday, he says, I definitely think I could. He said in a video call, I feel really good this year going into it. I feel like I'm in better shape. I feel better. My legs feel really fresh right now. If there's anyone that can do it, it would be Matt Prater. He holds the NFL record for longest field goal, a 54-yarder he hit in Denver in 2013.
Okay. Well, first of all, that's a 64-yarder, not a 54-yarder.
Oh, 64. Yeah.
And he's feeling like the little engine. You don't know about
that could.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for you to finish your sentence.
Hopefully, he'll get a chance.
Yes! Yes!
Okay, couple of things. I got my COVID thing. I didn't hear you mention this story here. It must have got messed up in your pile. The Big Ten offered a Stark.
Me the pile.
Huh?
You gave me the sports. I don't know.
Well, it had to be in there.
Okay.
Big Ten offered a stark and serious warning on Wednesday, just as the athletic conference unveiled its testing protocol and fall football schedules in the COVID-19 area. And they're saying if things continue to get out of hand with regard to the spread of the virus, there won't be a season.
Yeah, I read that. That was the second story.
Oh, thanks. I don't remember you saying anything on that.
Oh, we'll check the tape.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
find it.
right. The tape.
Yeah, speaking of tape.
Speaking of, you
What?
skipped over my coronavirus update for Thursday.
Oh, well, you have it, right? So,
yeah, of course I do. I have it.
lay it on us.
All right.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
All right, go ahead.
Spread out.
Okay. 5 cases for yesterday. And the day before that was not cool with 12. All right. We got to get back to Schneiderland.
Spread out.
Yep. Keep doing it. Now, the good thing is nobody's gone into the hospital. We still only have 4 there. And really good, no one else has passed away. So, but let's get these cases down to the 0. That's what we got to do. So, 5 yesterday, 12 the day before. Tomorrow, let's go for a 0. See, let's just do it. That's what we're gonna do.
Just do it!
All right, and Ian mentioned Siena Heights. We're gonna have a guest inside the cave here this morning, right at around 8:00. Chris Renwick, who calls the Siena Heights Saints football games, will be with us for 20 or so minutes. We'll be talking Siena Heights University competition. He may have a little bit of insight. Of course, he works for WJR in Detroit on what's going on up there with the Lions. So hopefully they don't have any more screw-ups with these false positives. But we're going to get a chance to talk to Chris Renwick. So, but if you've got something to say, just give us a call.
Oh, you want me to play this?
265-4000.
517 is the area code.
Yep. Give us a call or shoot us a email at 965thecave.com. Or no, it's sports at 965thecave.com. Or contact us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. We got all of that. So, all right. I think we got to start with the Big Ten. There's stuff to talk about there. And, of course, the comment, if things continue to get out of hand with regard to the spread of the virus, there won't be a season. I think that's pointed at a place in New Jersey and the Rutgers football team that is up to like maybe 28 cases of combined players and administrative staff. So, not cool. Not cool. Got to get that under control. And it said, while our strategy is to continue planning for all fall sports, if the virus continues to spread among our students, despite our many preventative measures, including testing and quarantine protocols, we are also prepared to delay or cancel competition pursuant to local and state public health orders or the recommendations of our medical experts. But it says, despite an uptick in cases around the Big Ten, the league is forging ahead with preseason camp to start tomorrow, the first day allowed under NCAA guidelines. Well, that story goes right into our next story, the group representing more than 1,000 Big Ten football players. You know, that's like everybody.
Pretty much.
85 times 14 is 1,190. So if it's more than 1,000, that's pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. So the players are chiming in here. They're talking about what they want.
So look, with this, okay,
Yeah.
the league wants less cases.
Right.
Fine, that's what they want. The players want more protocols in place. They want to feel safer. Okay. Take some responsibility. If you're these players, you can't say, I want the league to make us be safer, and then not be safe, then have 20 plus cases. That's so ironic. It seems stupid to me. Why are you demanding all these things to be in place and then they don't apply to you?
Well,
Right? If it's most of the players, there should be no cases because they should be 6 feet apart. They should be wearing a mask. They should be doing all these things. Someone's being hypocritical here, and I don't think it's just the conference saying we're going to play despite all these cases. Some of it's going to fall on the players. Is that crazy to think?
well, no,
that
of
they
course
could be
not.
responsible a little bit?
The other problem with this, and I'm glad that the players are together. It looks like they're pretty much unison here from the numbers. If we're to believe there's over 1,000 of them are getting on board here. But some of this stuff, I mean, they're coming awfully late to the table with some of this stuff. If we're going to start practice tomorrow, you know, and getting the league, first of all, to agree to at least some of this stuff, and then putting it in motion, that's going to take a while. And the way that this can happen is just like the way you said it. Everyone's got to you got to spread out. You can't be.
Spread out.
Yeah, you got to do that. I mean, you can't.
I get it. You're 18 to 22. We
I
hear
know.
that all the time.
But you
It's
got
just
to.
another sacrifice if you want to play football.
Yeah.
If you don't want to play football, don't put your team at risk. Or
Yeah.
any of these other fall sports for that matter.
Right.
You know?
If
Stay away from the team then.
yeah, if you don't want to do this, then opt out.
Yes.
No one's gonna, think you're terrible because you're opting out. But
At least we won't, if that makes you feel any better. Probably doesn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and of course one of the reasons we got this story, and of course, it's a story that it is going to be a big story. But there's a couple of the two guys that are heading up this effort. One is a Michigan player, and one was a Michigan player. But we didn't get into the specifics of this, and you need to get into a little bit of the specifics of this in order to determine exactly what it is the players are requesting here. So the players' proposal has specific guidelines for COVID-19 testing. That's going to take a little while to get implemented. In-season tests 3 times a week for anyone who comes into contact with college athletes, including coaches, referees, and media members, among others. So that right there is telling you that they're going from a basis that's not player-oriented. It says for anyone who comes in contact with college athletes. It doesn't say with any college athletes who come in contact with somebody else. Right?
Right.
So you've got that. Includes testing on game day or within 24 hours of kickoff for quarantine teams with results delivered at least 2 hours before competition. Is there a test currently that could test on game day and get results back before 2 hours before competition? I don't know of one.
Yeah, there are people that know a lot more than me about
How the
testing and how quick you can get results. I mean, the NFL's testing people seems like every other day and getting those results pretty quick. So I don't know if these bigger conferences, the Power Fives, can do that.
Well, it also says here that the players want immediate quarantine of any person who tests positive or exhibits symptoms. Okay, well, I think that makes sense. I can't imagine that's not going on right now. I mean, if somebody tests positive or is having symptoms, hopefully that's going on right now. And they want objective criteria for canceling the season. I think that's fair. Lay it out for us, Give us the numbers. Where do we have to be to play? We've been asking for that for a month or more. The hope numbers. They got that. Players are seeking protections for those who report a suspected violation of safety protocols and want COVID-19 liability waivers banned as well. Now that's going
to be tough.
Yeah, this is not the liability waivers are not a league thing. This has been done school by school. The universities themselves are the ones who are issuing liability waivers. And I don't know if you can ban those. I mean, the university wants some kind of protection in case some of the athletes are irresponsible and are out doing stuff that's going to give them a greater chance of catching or spreading the virus. So I don't know. They also want an automatic medical red shirt for any player who misses any competitions due to a positive test or a mandatory quarantine due to contact tracing. Wow. I mean, if they miss any competitions, and that doesn't even mean if you have the virus. It means if perhaps they did contact tracing and you might have come in contact with someone who has it or later has it. Preserve athletic eligibility, scholarship, and roster spot for any player who opts out of athletic participation or is unable to play more than 40% of their scheduled season due to COVID-19 or season postponement/cancellation. I think that's something that most of the universities are agreeing to. And lastly, the proposal seeks economic support coverage for out-of-pocket medical expenses related to COVID-19, scholarship protection should the season be canceled, an adjustment to cost of living stipends due to limited access that players have to facilities, and reimbursement for reduced summer stipends. You know, and I'm not sure I got every single little thing that they're asking for. This is just like the top of the top. The thing is, you know, I don't know what, of course, we haven't had a reaction from the universities, right? We don't know that. Haven't had that. And I don't know. We can get your thoughts after the break on what you think about this whole thing, other than what you've already said. But
Okay. Can we get into
it's big.
schedules for
we're going to get
Michigan
into
State?
schedules.
On the other side, big
Yeah.
announcement came yesterday after our show. So we'll get to talk about that. I think we might pick them right now. We'll go through the schedule, see how Michigan and Michigan State will fare with these proposed new schedules. We'll be back inside the cave with Ian Wendt and John Kane.
I'm Stan the Man, I am, and I have to say it feels quite warm outside today. But summer thunderstorms are now the norm, and older roofs can spring leaks. Pesky roof leaks can creep and seep and make your walls and ceilings weep. Flat roofs are steep. The cats in the blue hats at Diversified Roofing can fix that straight away. Call 1-800-668-1928 today, and we'll make those leaks all go away. With Diversified's fair rates, rebates, and financing that's great, that's 1-800-668-1928. You won't get taken for a ride when you call Diversified. We're Master Elite certified and GAF roofing that's tried and true. We're state licensed and fully insured too. Your roof's installed professionally with honesty and pride when you call Diversified at 1-800-668-1928. Here's our website too for you. For Stan the Man and the cats in the blue hats, that's DiversifiedRoofingLLC.com. Again, that's DiversifiedRoofingLLC.com.
Is your vehicle so dirty that little kids are writing wash me notes on it?
My hands are all dirty.
Is your wife ashamed to ride with you?
Let's take my car.
Is your vehicle so dirty that it looks like it's a different color?
I thought your car was white.
Then it's time to go to Sudsy Does a Car Wash. We know you want your car to look great, so try Sudsy Does a Car Wash in Tecumseh.
Sudsy Does a Car Wash, Gary's Quick Lube too.
Is your asphalt driveway cracking? Does it need maintenance? After years of wear and tear, this is Rocky from K&B Asphalt Paving and Seal Coating. We do seal coating, hot rubber crack filling, and unlike others, we also do our own striping, patching, and paving. We are your one-stop shop for all your driveway and parking lot needs. We have 25 years of expertise and are fully insured for commercial and residential work. Visit us online or call 264-2541 for more information. At K&B Asphalt, we pledge to keep our customers satisfied by providing expert service with quality materials at a competitive price.
You'll hit a home run every time with Hayes Insurance Agency.
Their team of independent agents will cover all the bases
and find you the right policy at the best price.
For your car, your home, your business, whatever you need.
Hayes Insurance, serving residents of Lenawee County and beyond for over a half century.
Call 517-423-8316.
Call Hayes Insurance, get all the insurance you need.
Or visit HayesINS.com. In 1968, Tigers great Jim Northrup hit 2 grand slams in one game.
And ever since, the Hayes Insurance Agency has been hitting grand slams for all its customers in Lenawee County and beyond.
For your car, your home, your farm, your business, count on Hayes Insurance Agency.
On Occidental Highway between Adrian and Tecumseh.
Call 517-423-8316.
Call Hayes Insurance, get all the insurance you need.
Or visit HayesINS.com.
As you feel the blades of grass tickle your bare feet, a subtle breeze stirs the green leaves overhead. There you are, sipping a cold drink, admiring the beauty and solitude of your own landscaped backyard. The realization has set in. Calling Sealers Landscape and Design was the best and easiest decision you've ever made. Their 3D design program brought your paradise to life. Now for the tough decision. Where to put the hammock. Call Sealers Landscape and Design at 442-4823 for a free estimate today.
Hi, my name is Janie Navarro. I'm a realtor with Excel Realty. I am fluent in Spanish and love assisting the Hispanic community. Call or text me anytime so I can assist you in buying or selling a home. Buenos días, mi nombre es Janie Navarro. Soy una agente de real estate con Excel Realty. Puedo ayudarles con la compra y venta de su casa. Me encanta ayudar a mi comunidad España. Sé que puede ser difícil si no habla inglés. Llámame o mándame un texto y estaré lista para asistirles. 403-4215.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle on Inside the Cave. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on 96.5 FM. We give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players and get you ready to start your day.
Sweet, man.
Grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass because it's time to go Inside the Cave. Weekday mornings 7 to 9 on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com.
There's a lot of talk about germs, especially these crazy virus germs. We are aware and have a solution to stop them inside your vehicle. At Gary's Quick Lube, we are offering ViraGuard. The ViraGuard system is a dry fog disinfecting system that uses nanotechnology to disinfect deep within soft surfaces and cracks that liquids or mist just can't get to. For additional information, call us at 423-1412 or stop in and see us at 1360 West Chicago Boulevard in Tecumseh. Let Gary's Quick Lube clean your germs away.
Let's talk sports. 96.5 The Cave.
$7:27 on Thursday, August 6th, Inside the Cave. Thanks for being with us. I'm Ian Wendt, joined by John Kane, and later on in the show, Chris Renwick, joining us on the phone, of course, over at WJR, and the voice of Siena Heights Saints football for Lenawee Broadcasting Company. We're going to get to the schedules for Michigan, Michigan State, do our early picks for those games now that they are in place. But, John, you want to hit on something else real quick?
Yeah, a couple of things. It says, of course, many things changed with the Big Ten's release of its upcoming football schedule yesterday, including Michigan State's rivalry with Michigan. It means the Spartans are expected to play in Ann Arbor in back-to-back seasons for the first time since 1967-68, in a game moved up a week to October 3rd. But it also means MSU might not have to face both the Wolverines and Ohio State on the road in the same year moving forward. Well, in a statement to the Free Press, Big Ten spokesman Adam Augustine said the conference needed to move 3 games in both the East and West divisions. Michigan at Indiana, Michigan State at Michigan, Indiana at Michigan State, Nebraska at Purdue, Purdue at Wisconsin, and Wisconsin at Nebraska, to allow for better flexibility if the coronavirus pandemic forces further changes to the schedule. MSU was scheduled to host both Michigan and Ohio State this season. Okay, let's just talk about this for a second now. The thing that really bugs the crap out of me, did you hear those teams? Michigan State, Michigan, Indiana, Purdue, Wisconsin, and Nebraska. I don't have a problem with Nebraska. But if there are teams that have to be inconvenienced with their schedule, if you're going to monkey with rivalries, whatever, why aren't you messing around with the newbies' schedule, not the established Big Ten teams that have been here forever? Where is Penn State? Where's Maryland? Where's Rutgers? Why aren't you tinkering with their schedules? Hello. They're the new guys on the block. Let them have to take the lumps. This is ridiculous, in my
Especially
opinion.
Rutgers.
It's ridiculous that those schools aren't even involved in it. And, of course, for crying out loud, let us not inconvenience Ohio State.
I knew that was coming.
Let's not do that.
Right.
This is just crap.
You suck.
That's all I'm saying. I read that, and they couldn't figure out a way to do that. Sure, they could have figured out a way to do it and still have as much flexibility in the schedules. This is ridiculous that Michigan and Michigan State get the shaft once again. And Penn State and Ohio State are lollygagging, walking down the lane.
Was Wisconsin altered?
Yes, Wisconsin was altered. So that, but Iowa, let's not get, they got Nebraska in there. That was the only good thing they got in there. Nebraska's a newbie, but it's not the newest of the newbies. We got to be nice to Maryland and Rutgers because they're the new kids on the block. He must be pretty good. Yeah, right. Whatever. All right, before we get to the schedule, where did I put that? Okay. Hours after the Big Ten revealed its revamped schedule, Jacob Panasiuk, the Spartans expected the starting defensive end, announced via Twitter he plans to take a red shirt for his fourth season due to concerns over the coronavirus pandemic. The thing about this, and the reason we got it in here, of course, first he's a Michigan State player, but he's going to be the 6'3", 245-pound Panasiuk, a 2-year starter, 23 straight games. He would have been Michigan State's leading returner on the defensive line. 18.5 career tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 80 stops. That leaves Michigan's defensive line without a returning starter. The other 3 guys went to the NFL. So now they're going to have to play this screwed up season in this screwed up time without anybody returning on the defensive line as a starter. That is going to be, a tough thing to do. So I'm to the point now where if you would like to discuss schedules, we can start wherever you want to go.
We'll start with we'll call them the hometown team. Michigan's schedule revised for 2020.
Well, they're not the hometown team. They're just
closer.
They're just
slightly.
They're just a scooch closer.
I'm not playing that drop. Not happening. Michigan's revised 2020 schedule. You talked about the job the Big Ten did to the Wolverines. So they get, I'm looking at a couple of tough stretches here. You're going to start with an okay Purdue team, Minnesota, Penn State. That's going to be tough. But this 3-game stretch in the middle, at Indiana, at Ohio State, Wisconsin, yikes. That's going to be really competitive. But here we go. We're going to go through all the teams when they play Michigan and what we think. So September 5th, they got Purdue. They're home. I don't think we should pick, over, under, point spread, points kind of thing right now. Do you think it's a win or a loss for Michigan, and why?
It's a win.
Because it's Purdue?
Because they're better.
Okay.
They got better players than Purdue. Purdue actually disappointed last year. I think a lot of people thought, based on the previous year, that they were going to be a little bit better than the season turned out. So they're still, searching for answers. And,
I
but
agree.
again,
I agree.
Yeah.
Purdue's not trending up, but they're not trending down. Kind of like you said, their expectations are 7-5, maybe you sneak in at 8-4, but they did not do that.
No, and of
last
course,
year.
They're only playing 10, so without their non-conference wins, I don't know if Purdue can even get to 500 in the league.
Yeah, I got Michigan too. I mean, they might beat them by 28, 30 points. Up next for the Wolverines, they go north for the Minnesota Row the Boaters, Golden Gophers. It's a road game against a Big Ten West team. Thinking Wisconsin type situation here, but what do you think?
This, in my opinion, is definitely a toss-up. It's definitely a toss-up, especially this early in the season. You know, this early in the season, Minnesota, I think, has a decent shot at winning the West. So, and like I said, especially early in the season, we don't know who's going to be under center for the Wolverines.
Or who's blocking for him.
That's right.
Right.
Or who the 4 newbies are that are going to be blocking. So I call this one most definitely a toss-up.
Well, we can't toss it up.
Why?
Why? We have to make a decision here.
No.
Yeah, we do. You
No,
can't toss up. Fine, we'll toss up every game, and then we'll just go off the air and be done.
No.
That's
If we took Michigan in the first game, that's not a toss-up. This game, to me, is a toss-up. You can go ahead and pick who you think is going to win. I'm saying it's a toss-up.
You don't want to make our fans upset.
No, it's not.
It
It has nothing to do with.
Minnesota's going to beat Michigan.
It has nothing to do with making anybody upset. I think I've made people upset in the past, so that's not an issue. The issue is, I don't know. It's a
Where
toss-up.
the teams you can't tie.
I'm not saying they're going to tie. I'm saying I don't know who's going to win.
You think Michigan by a point?
I don't know.
I gotta write down something here. I gotta make note of what we think right now.
Okay.
This can change.
Okay.
Look, if we get on the show 3 days before this game and we change our mind, that's fine.
Okay.
That's the beauty of the show.
I'm going to say Minnesota by a half a point. Can they win by a half?
No.
No, what it means is if it goes to overtime, then it means I won because Minnesota won by a half in regulation.
Okay. Based on all this uncertainty, practices are going to be what they are. A tough Minnesota team. Now, will there be fans?
No, there's not. We got to hope we get football. I'll be absolutely flabbergastedly shocked if we have fans.
Fans
the way things
factor
are going.
in a point or two.
Huh?
Fans factor in
I know.
about a point or two. And if
And
you're
a
at
lot-
Minnesota, especially if you're Michigan,
Well,
you don't think 100,000 people screaming benefits Michigan by a couple points?
Of course it does.
I
But
think
I'm
it would
just saying-
benefit Minnesota also.
But a lot of it's going to depend on how well guys play who are used to playing in front of a huge crowd, and there's nobody. I mean, that's going to affect them at least early on. And of course, this isn't early honor.
I got Minnesota. I think there's just more in place there.
So how
a
much
lot of
are they going to win
uncertainty
by?
for offense again?
So you think
Well, if I have to pick right now,
Minnesota by a half?
no, I'd be more comfortable saying 3 or 4.
Okay.
Minnesota's on the up and up. I mean, they had a couple of tough losses last year. 4 points to Iowa on the road. And then they got waxed by Wisconsin. But they went to the Outback Bowl and they beat Auburn. Auburn's no slouch. They ended the season ranked 18th. So I don't think that's absolutely crazy to not pick Michigan there.
No, I don't think it is either. That's why I said it was a toss-up.
The next week, the Wolverines, September 19th, they're in Happy Valley taking on Penn State. The game that did not make 247 Sports Top 20 of the college football season. Nittany Lions some people's favorites to win the East and go to the conference championship.
Come on.
Hey, if anyone's going to beat Ohio State, people think it's Penn State.
We already got the simulation. Michigan beats Ohio State 51-32.
We're going to get to that. That's about halfway down the schedule. We'll get to the absurdity of that. They're home, a little more comfortable, off a tough game against Minnesota. There's a couple defining moments in this football season for Michigan, whether it's a success or failure.
Well, they have to
Obviously,
win this
the
one.
Buckeyes, and it's this one. It's Penn State.
They have to win this one, but according to you, they're going to be coming off a loss at Minnesota on a tough road trip the week before. And, of course, Penn State's schedule hasn't been touched as far as revamping or moving anybody around. So what are you saying there?
I think it'll be closer than the Minnesota game.
We got the Minnesota game at 3 or 4.
Right. Look, there's no, quote, tune-up game. You don't get to play,
what do you mean?
Tulsa or Central Michigan to tune up to get ready for a Penn State or Minnesota. You're starting with Big Ten competition with Purdue. If it's going to be a warm-up game, I guess that might have to be it, unless you get Rutgers week 1. You got Purdue and then a tough Minnesota and an even better Penn State. I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan starts 1-2. So I got Penn State by a point or 2. Sorry.
Okay. I got Michigan winning this game. Michigan's going to win this game by, what do you think? How many points?
What are you going to say?
How many
I
points?
don't know what you're going to say.
I'm going to say they're going to win by, oh, baby, a triple.
Oh, I got to find it. I haven't hit that button in so long. There it is.
Oh, baby, a triple. Oh, yeah.
They win by 3.
So you got them at 2-1. I got them at 1-2. I'm just being realistic here.
All right. Well, before we get lost in all this.
I know we got a break.
Okay. And then we can come back.
Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. On the other side of the break, Michigan's schedule continues. They, right now, travel to New Jersey to take on Rutgers. We'll break that one down. It should take about 8 seconds. We'll be back with more Inside the Cave with Ian Wentz and John Kane.
You'll hit a home run every time with Hayes Insurance Agency.
Their team of independent agents will cover all the bases
and find you the right policy at the best price.
For your car, your home, your business, whatever you need.
Hayes Insurance, serving residents of Lenawee County and beyond for over a half century.
Call 517-423-8316.
Call Hayes Insurance. Get all the insurance you need.
Or visit HayesINS.com. In 1968, Tigers great Jim Northrup hit 2 grand slams in one game.
And ever since, the Hayes Insurance Agency has been hitting grand slams for all its customers in Lenawee County and beyond.
For your car, your home, your farm, your business, count on Hayes Insurance Agency.
On Occidental Highway between Adrian and Tecumseh.
Call 517-423-8316.
Call Hayes Insurance. Get all the insurance you need.
Or visit HayesINS.com.
Even though school buildings are closed statewide for the remainder of the school year, the Lenawee Intermediate School District has been hard at work developing and implementing a continuity of learning plan for our students. This is a unique challenge, and LISD instructors and support staff have worked diligently to provide a variety of distance learning options that best suit the needs of each student. The LISD appreciates your patience and understanding as we learn together how best to serve Lenawee students during this unprecedented time. To view our learning plan and the latest COVID-19 updates, visit lisd.us/COVID-19.
The Springs BP on West US 223 near Onstead Highway is your locally owned one-stop convenience store. The Springs BP Beer Cave is fully stocked and has a huge selection of craft beer along with all of the standards. If you're looking for something a little different, they have a variety of prepared cocktails and drink mixes plus state minimum prices on their huge selection of liquor. The Springs BP also has propane tank exchanges, fishing licenses, and bait. So if you're headed to the lake for the weekend or just heading home, make sure you stop and shop at the Springs BP.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get auto, home, business, farm, and life insurance all from one agency? Well, that's where the D.S. Johnson and Associates comes in. They can help protect what is important to you. So why not simplify your life? See the D.S. Johnson and Associates in Adrian, Morenci, or Monroe, or give them a call today at 517-263-2582. Nationwide is on your side. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio, subject to underwriting guidelines review and approval.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle on Inside the Cave. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on 96.5 FM. We give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players and get you ready to start your day.
Sweet, man.
Grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass because it's time to go Inside the Cave. Weekday mornings 7 to 9 on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com.
Michigan's auto insurance laws are changing, and that means drivers have a lot to think about, right, Steve Hayes?
People are going to have to be hands-on on their auto insurance. They've got a lot of choices here. Bodily injury limits or your PIP choice. Are you going to stay unlimited or do you want to ramp it down?
But one thing hasn't changed. The local independent agents at Hayes Insurance Agency. They know the new laws inside and out. And whether you're one of their customers or not, they'll help you make an intelligent, informed decision.
It's not uncommon for us to take calls for 5 hours a day of just questions. I get a lot of paperwork that might be intimidating, and we walk them through it. We don't tell people what they should do. We're going to give them the option.
From the simplest questions to the most complex, count on Steve Hayes and his staff at the Hayes Insurance Agency.
I want to be the agent that has the most knowledge about these new laws.
Call Hayes Insurance, get all the insurance you need.
Hayes Insurance, 423-8316.
Lenawee's Sports Lineup. It's all here on 96.5 The Cave.
.47 inside the cave. Ian Wentz, John Kane with you till 9 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we'll be joined on the phone by Chris Renwick, the voice of the Siena Heights Saints football team. We'll talk about their upcoming season and all the stuff Renwick has going on in his professional life. We're getting through this Michigan schedule as revised by the Big Ten. I have Michigan at 1-2 so far, wins over Purdue and losses to Minnesota and Penn State. John's got a couple Wolverine wins. He thinks they'll beat Penn State, but not Minnesota. So we go out east now to Rutgers. September 26th, Michigan wins by probably 45 points.
Or it could be 2-0.
Why? What?
Yeah, it could be 2-0. That's
okay.
That's
right. So moving on, they'll have
what? 2-0. That's the score in a forfeit.
Oh, okay.
We don't even know if Rutgers is going to have enough players to play. That one could be 2-0. Who knows?
Now the in-state rivalry, they're home against the Michigan State Spartans. Without their star defensive linemen, this could be ugly for Michigan State. I'd say Michigan comfortably 20-ish points, probably be the spread. At this point, the offense will be figured itself out. Who knows? Michigan State's the biggest unknown for me in the Big Ten. So I got Michigan. I actually know more about Michigan in terms of what they got than Michigan State.
Well, we'll just have to see. Yeah, I don't see the Spartans pulling an upset, especially at Michigan. So I got to go with the Wolverines there.
All right, bye week. They win that. They go to Indiana, an up-and-coming Indiana program. A lot of sports analysts like the Hoosiers. Indiana gives Michigan State Michigan fits in recent years. Not this year. I think Michigan takes care of business. They get on a roll. They got a win against Rutgers. Michigan State, they get a bye. They might clobber Indiana. But
I don't see it.
You don't see a clobber?
No, less than a touchdown. You're right. They've had trouble with Indiana in the past, and they'll be looking forward to the game next week. So I think they win, but it's less than a TD.
They travel down south to take on the Big Ten favorite. Another favorite, not the top favorite, but in contention for the national title, the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're on the road in Columbus, October 24th. What do you think?
Not a problem. We already know that 247 Sports simulated this game, and the Wolverines win in a cakewalk, 51-32.
Are you echoing that?
Yes. This is the year.
You sound so optimistic. Ohio, look, you have Michigan. I think that score is flipped.
What do you mean it's flipped?
Honest to goodness. Ohio State is a football machine, especially when they play the maize and blue. Harbaugh hasn't figured them out. Not even close. And with a new offensive line, who's their quarterback in the state of Ohio? I think it's Buckeyes by a comfortable margin.
No, because see, Harbaugh gets this whole thing figured out in his head. Okay?
Okay.
And then he does the exact opposite, and the Wolverines roll.
Whoa. All right. A tough stretch of 3 games concludes with a home game against Wisconsin. Do they let their fans down?
This is a really difficult game. You know, they're going to be coming off a bruiser over the Buckeyes, getting that W down there. And I don't know if they got a lot of steam left in the tank. Wisconsin is going to bring in maybe the best defense in the Big Ten. And this one's going to be a very low-scoring affair. And, again, it could go either way. I don't know how this one's going to go. It's going to be really low-scoring. And, of course, the other thing that kind of adds to the drama, it's going to be on Halloween, for crying out loud. So anything can happen there. I don't know.
So what?
So I don't know. It's a toss-up, just like Minnesota.
Okay, so you went with Minnesota with the other toss-up.
The other toss-up's Wisconsin.
Going, Wisconsin by a half a point?
Yeah, Wisconsin.
So
somebody by a half a point.
In my mind, so they lose to Ohio State. I feel bad for Wisconsin at that point because Michigan's going to be ready to go, and I think they beat the Badgers. I really do. It'll be close. I think it'll be close.
Okay.
But I got Michigan winning that. So they're home for Maryland next week on the 7th of November. Do we need to really break this down?
No,
Okay, yep. So Michigan takes care of Maryland. Bye week, November 21st at Northwestern. Michigan rolls in that one too, in my mind.
Okay.
What?
Well, I think they win.
Okay.
Northwestern is a little bit. I think Northwestern is going to be better than they were last year. They had a terrible year last year. A lot of injuries to that club, but I think Michigan wins it. But I think it'll be within a touchdown. And of course, they should be able to take care of the bye on November 14th and the one on November 28th.
You would hope.
But see, what I don't understand here is they got a bye on the 28th, and isn't like December 5th going to be a bye?
In all likelihood.
Yeah.
the date scheduled for the Big Ten title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, not in your mind, I don't think. I think they're right in it.
Oh.
You have them at 8-2.
Yeah, but
and importantly, beating the Buckeyes.
Right.
That'll be huge. To
And
determine
beating
who plays in
and
Indy.
beating Penn State. My toss-ups are Minnesota and Wisconsin. So apparently they're going to win the East.
Right. Apparently you like the Big Ten West.
You know, they're going to win the East. That means they're in the championship game.
So right now, you only have the 2 losses in your toss-ups to Wisconsin and Minnesota. I have them losing to Minnesota, and that's really only because it's week 2. If you play Minnesota week 4 or 5 and you get everything figured out, I think it's an easier time for Michigan. But tough start for they got Minnesota, Penn State, and Ohio State for my 3 losses for Michigan. 7-3, good, great. Not great. Not great. I still think it's Ohio State and Penn State, Wisconsin, right at the top of the Big Ten as we stand right now.
Okay. We'll see.
Right. Hey,
we're going to see here.
If we can get the games played.
Yeah. That's the big if. We can get the games played. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It's anything possible, but hopefully, they're hitting Ohio State and Wisconsin in the second half of the season. Hopefully, they got all the kinks worked out in the first half. But
we'll get to Michigan State's schedule after we talk to the voice of Siena Heights football, Chris Renwick. He's going to be on with us at 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back inside the cave.
I'm Stan the Man I Am, and I have to say it feels quite warm outside today. But summer thunderstorms are now the norm, and older roofs can spring leaks. Pesky roof leaks can creep and seep and make your walls and ceilings weep. Flat roofs are steep. The cats in the blue hats at Diversified Roofing can fix that straight away. Call 1-800-668-1928 today, and we'll make those leaks all go away. With Diversified's fair rates, rebates, and financing that's great, that's 1-800-668-1928. You won't get taken for a ride when you call Diversified. We're Master Elite certified and GAF roofing that's tried and true. We're state licensed and fully insured too. Your roof's installed professionally with honesty and pride when you call Diversified at 1-800-668-1928. Here's our website too for you. For Stan the Man and the cats in the blue hats, that's DiversifiedRoofingLLC.com. Again, that's DiversifiedRoofingLLC.com.
Summer bundles now available at D&P Communications. New customers get a 250 meg internet connection paired with D&P Connect Pro, the most complete whole home Wi-Fi experience available, for only $59.90 per month. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees not included. Some restrictions may apply. Service not available in all areas. Superior service, exceptional results. D&P Communications.
Get your vehicle in shape for the summer with a complete cleanup at Beecher Street Car Wash and Auto Detailing. They will clean your vehicle inside and out. They offer detailing services like interior shampoo, hand wax, and buffing. Their expert staff will make your car, SUV, or van sparkle. They even do boats, RVs, and semis. Gift certificates available. Beecher Street Car Wash and Auto Detailing is open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. till 7 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. Ask about their monthly membership and their annual memberships. They're located on West Beecher Street next to Barrett's.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle on Inside the Cave. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on 96.5 FM. We give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players and get you ready to start your day.
Sweet, man.
Grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass because it's time to go Inside the Cave. Weekday mornings 7 to 9 on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com.
We all know that Salsarias has fantastic authentic Mexican dishes like the signature Baja chicken salad and the queso blanco. What you might not know is they do catering platters for offices, schools, and events that they will deliver. Holy guacamole! Salsarias is open Monday through Saturday at 11 a.m. for inside and patio dining as well as for carryout. Find specials on Facebook. Call 423-0018 to order or come in and enjoy a beverage from their full bar along with a great lunch or dinner in downtown Tecumseh at Salsarias.
The best in regional sports from Southeast Michigan. WLEN Adrian, HD2, W243AD, 96.5 The Cave.
96.5 The Cave. Lenawee County Sports. Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. This is Inside the Cave on 96.5 FM and 965thecave.com. Sports talk radio with a local angle, where we give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports, interview area coaches and players, and get you ready to start your day.
Good morning.
Now grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass, because it's time to go inside the cave.
Hour number 2 inside the cave.
Probably our best 60-minute performance of the year. You got to find a way to replicate what you did.
Sounds good. Ian Wentz, John Kane inside the cave. We're here till 9 o'clock this morning. And no sports headlines right at 8 o'clock today because we have a guest on the phone line, the executive producer of the Frank Beckman Show on WJR and the voice of Siena Heights Saints football, Chris Renwick. Good morning, Chris.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
We're doing good, Chris. We're well.
Very good.
So, Chris, we already talked to you a little bit before we started the show. You've heard the announcement by Siena Heights. Certainly, they're going to have football, men's and women's soccer, men's and women's golf, and men's and women's cross country for the fall. We know even with the announcements, things are still up in the air, but at least we got this out of them, and we're hoping for football. I know you are.
Yeah, and I think this at least provides a couple things, right? It's some sort of news in a pro sports direction, right? I think the key that we probably all need to, in order to tamp down our expectations and our excitement, I think that this is going to be up until really, the first kickoff of the year. This is going to be a very fluid situation, and this isn't just it's not just unique to the NAIA or Siena Heights, but this is something where the fluidity is going to be very important for conferences and teams all across the country because, look, as it's no surprise to you guys or anybody listening, but this situation with COVID-19 is incredibly unpredictable, and so any news out of the NAIA or in this case Siena Heights announcing that they're going to go forward with a lot of these fall sports, it's good because it tells me that they've got at least some sort of plan in place, or they're working actively towards making sure that the playing conditions are safe for the students and the players, and I think that's the important part. Whether or not we see fans in the stadium, or fans in the seats, or fans even allowed in the parking lot or on campus or whatever, that's just something we'll have to wait and see on. But no, I think it's great news that announcement was made last night. And again, I think the word here is fluidity. We're just going to have to see how this thing plays out. But for yesterday, I think it was a huge check mark, at least for me, the excitement. It was good to see.
Well, Chris, all of this revolves around football. I think you could do soccer, golf, cross country. You're not talking about large squads there. But the football team has 120 guys on schedule, or on scholarship, I should say. That's a totally different animal than anything else they have to deal with, right?
It is, and the crazy part, of course, is coming up with a different and unique plan for each sport. pro sports, we've seen kind of a resurgence here in the last couple weeks. You can keep the NBA guys in a bubble. The traveling company that they have is a lot smaller, and your teams are a lot smaller, and it's easier to go in that type of format with certain types of sports. Certainly, when you're talking about soccer, you can kind of go that route. Cross country and track and field, all of that can kind of work in that type of format. Certainly, golf, both men's and women's as well. So that type of format works. But like you mentioned, when you talk about a football team, when you're talking about dozens and dozens of players, even on a traveling roster, you're still traveling with a pretty big group, and it's a lot harder to stay in a bubble. You're getting on a bus, you're going to rest stops, you're going to a hotel, so it's a lot more difficult. So yeah, I think when you talk about the the focus of football, it's a lot more challenging for schools to come up with a plan that not only they feel comfortable with, but that the student athletes feel comfortable with, that the coaches feel comfortable with. And I think that's a huge key here. So again, I feel confident that there is a plan in place, whether that's from the WAC or the MSFA or Siena Heights as an institution by itself. I'm confident that at least there are some parameters set up in place where they feel that they can make this type of decision.
Chris Renwick, voice of Siena Heights Saints football, joining us inside the cave this morning. And, we got the two colleges here in Adrian, College and Siena Heights, traveling for the Saints. And, of course, you being the play-by-play guy, you go to all these games. I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone else in the business about it. How comfortable do you feel traveling to these places? Like if you have to go to Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, what's your mindset on that?
Well, it's interesting from broadcaster's perspective. Obviously, and you guys know, we serve you, the listener. So when you can't be at a game or you can't be at an event or whatever, you count on us to bring it to you. So in that aspect, we have a responsibility to our listeners. So I think from that aspect, I feel comfortable and confident that we can do that. In terms of like a personal level, I mean, look, I'm just like anybody else. I mean, we all have our concerns. I've got a 2-year-old at home, and so there are of course concerns there. But I think if proper measures are taken, I don't see a huge problem with it. And we really won't be going to any place that we're not going to Texas or Florida, Arizona, or anything like that. So in terms of states that have smaller numbers, I think we're going to be in a better position. But look, I think that certain level of nervousness exists anywhere. And I think anybody, if you're going back to work, if you work at a auto shop or you work at a restaurant, I think that underlying level of nervousness exists in all of us. But no, we have a great responsibility as broadcasters, so we have to take that seriously.
Chris, the corona has been unfortunate, I mean, globally. But you've been with the Saints almost from the beginning, and they're getting to the point where they're developing a lot more consistency in the program, starting to knock on the championship door. This kind of thing, you think it maybe might derail them a little bit, or can they, grasp it and still keep the program moving forward?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just take you quickly back to last year, because I think last year that team was pretty ready, I thought. The only real question mark we had was Tyler Necton, how he was going to handle that quarterback spot in another year where he was a little more comfortable. And he certainly had some hiccups, but he's still a young guy, so those growing pains will continue. or at least continued last year. They had a big win on the road at St. Francis, and that was kind of that signature win that they hadn't really had as a program. So that gave them a lot of momentum. But then you drop a game at Indiana Wesleyan last year, and you lose to Concordia down the stretch, and that just kills you. I mean, it totally cast a pall in the season, and it didn't really allow them to meet the goals that they had set. Even though they got that first real program signature win on the road, big spot, ranked opponent, and it was a great atmosphere. Now, conversely, going into this year, they lost some talent, especially in the wide receiving core. They lost a talented running back. But the one thing that I've been really impressed with from a coaching perspective, and Matt Cohn and his whole staff have done a terrific job of, they've got guys that they know are bona fide starters, right? But they've done an incredible job at finding talent, cultivating that talent from a depth perspective. I mean, for the last 2 years, maybe a year and a half, all of last year, maybe the last half of the season before, I mean, they could rotate a whole defensive line and feel really comfortable with the guys that they were putting out there. Same thing goes for the receiving core, all the way back to all the way back into the linebackers and that tail end with the safeties and corners. So they've done a really nice job offensively. I think they've become a little more multiple. They've opened up the playbook a little more. They run a lot of different variations of the same plays, but they're very sound. And so I don't know that it's derailed them. I think it's certainly different, and I don't know that any team across the country will be in any different spot. I mean, I think a lot of teams are going to ask themselves, how is this going to impact us going forward? I trust Matt Cohn a lot. I think he's earned the ability to see something through here, and I think he's done a really nice job of building that depth and cultivating that talent and making those starters guys that you can count on every play. So, yeah, I don't know how this is necessarily going to impact them going forward. I want to say not much, but you just never know. I mean, with the way that our world looks right now and the way that our region looks right now, you just never know.
Well, I think, the program, the coaches, the players, they really desperately want this season to happen. You mentioned the two games last year with Indiana Wesleyan and Concordia. I think you could make the argument that not only could they have won those games, but they probably should have won those two games.
Well, in the case of Indiana Wesleyan, they should have. I mean, look, I get it. Tough spot on the road, relatively new program, brand new stadium, lots of people. It was a hostile environment. But one thing that I really like about this team and this program, especially under Matt Cohn, is the way that they attack road games and being on the road and being away from home and your home facilities and your fans. It's very businesslike. There isn't a whole lot of horsing around. They're there for one thing, and that's to come out with a dub. And so I think from that aspect, it was a little bit disappointing because I think they shot themselves in the foot a couple times, a couple bad penalties. And really, if I remember right, it was right after halftime, things really started to unravel. Botched kickoff return, fumble return for a touchdown, Indiana Wesleyan capitalized. Just a lot of mental errors that really just piled on one after another. I think there was their first three series coming out of halftime was really rough, and it was a hole that they couldn't get out of. So, and you guys know, once you're on the road and you let a team take advantage, that place is rocking, and it's a tough atmosphere to come back in. So that game really hurt them. The Concordia game also was again, I think they just kind of got outmatched a little bit. So those were two really rough games for them down the stretch, and that obviously hurt them.
Chris Renwick, voice of the Siena Heights University Saints football team, on the show with us inside the cave today. Chris, is there any game in particular on this season's schedule that you're circling if you're a Saints fan? Important game or, game with the most implications for maybe a postseason?
Well, look, you've got two really tough games on the road. Again, you're back at Indiana Wesleyan. You're going to Marion. We know what a nightmare that is. You got St. Francis at home, and that's good. You've got Concordia at home. So, I obviously those four are the ones that you gotta really watch out for. I'd love to say, Marion at the end of October is one that I'm, kind of circling to see, but watching Indiana Wesleyan and the way that they've developed so quickly, and you can't overlook Concordia. I mean, you've got Concordia and Indiana Wesleyan back-to-back in early October, and I mean, you could be looking at the season right there. I mean, those are two games that they at least have to win one. I mean, if not both, because you've got Marion and St. Francis down the pike too. So it's not an easy schedule for them. They've got some, teams that they'll be able to handle, like Taylor, Lawrence Tech, Trinity, St. Ambrose. Those are all teams that they should be able to handle. It's the big boys up top that have been up top that are the ones that you worry most about. St. Francis, Marion, certainly Concordia's making their way up there, and Indiana Wesleyan. So those are four really tough games on the schedule. Luckily, you got two at home, but those are a couple really tough games that they got to be ready for.
Siena Heights certainly a program on the up and up, so really contending with those upper echelon programs. Chris, is there any player that you saw something from last year that you think could or will have a breakout season?
Well, I'll tell you this. I really liked the way Tyler Neck was playing towards the end of the year. I actually thought he made really good strides in the offseason, came in ready, really poised. I thought, for the most part, that he was always in control, even when things started to slide in some instances. I never thought, I never thought that it was like, you ride a bike down a steep hill, and you start to feel the handlebar shake, and you're going real fast, and you start to lose control. Never felt that way. I always felt that he was, at the helm, and he was very poised, and I think that permeated throughout not only the offense but the team. I always thought that was really important to see. So I actually really expect a lot of big things from him this year. Defensively, I mean, Nick Stallworth is the guy that is the glue that holds that whole defense together, in my opinion. He's so sound technically, but he's got such a knack for where the football's going. I mean, he's generally 2 or 3 steps ahead of where the play is, and he's always right there. So those are two guys that I think are going to be kind of anchors on this team going forward.
Chris, I'm going to ask you about your druthers. Would you rather see the season postponed to the spring as opposed to starting here in the fall and having to stop?
Well, I think there's pros and cons to both, right? You start things off in the fall, and you run the risk of maybe having your season cut short or having to pause or whatever. And that's, I don't think anybody really wants that. If you start at the beginning of spring, mid-spring in 21, there are certain downfalls to that, and nobody really has answers in how that's going to work. For example, if you start a spring season, how does that impact fall of 2021? Are you going to have a football season of fall of 21? Are you going to play half your schedule in the spring and then half your schedule in the fall of 2021? Do you just skip fall of 2021 and get ready for fall of 2022? So I don't know the answer to that. I mean, I really don't. And again, it just goes back to my point where everything is just so unpredictable. We just don't know. So I don't know what the answer is to that, and I hope people with a higher pay grade can figure it out. But certainly that has been on the table for a while, just in terms of, look, if fall is trending to the way that many experts believe, and we could see a second spike, do we want to move it to the spring of 2021 and play it that way? I have no idea. To me, I'm ready to get football going here. I mean, we've seen other sports come back into play. I'm a big golf guy, so the PGA has been great. I think this next year is going to be fantastic. Obviously, hockey getting underway, Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA playoffs, and finishing off the rest of their season. So, and baseball's got issues, and I'm not convinced that they're going to finish their season either. But, I'm ready for some football, and so I don't know. I don't know what the answer. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I just don't know what it is.
Look, what's your Stafford and the Lions? What's going to happen there? What's your feeling? What do you hear up there?
I mean, look, I have no indications that Matthew Stafford is deciding not to play football this year. The NFL seems like they're on track to play. Next week, really, we'd be in our first preseason game. So obviously things are different, even at the NFL level. But I think Matt Stafford's playing. I mean, he's had two of his last 2 years cut short because of back injuries. And no, I think he's playing. Obviously he's got 4 little ones at home and a wife who just went through, she went through her own medical issues. And but no, I absolutely believe that he's going to play.
One more question for you, Chris, then we have to let you go. So, if the Big Ten schedule happens as they've adjusted it, what do you think about Wolverines playing the Buckeyes on the 24th of October?
It tells me that they're not confident that they're going to make it to the end of the year. That was when I was reading the tea leaves on it yesterday, I just thought, boy, they all want to make sure they get that game in. And the fact that they're moving it up tells me that, again, flexibility, right? They want to make sure that game gets played. Out of any game on the whole Big Ten slate, that's the one that needs to be played. So I was actually a little surprised that it wasn't moved up even further. But it tells me that I don't know that they're necessarily totally confident that they're going to get to the end of November. So moving it up into October gives them that hope, just a little more, whatever percentage chance that is, that they get that game in.
Chris Renwick, voice of the Siena Heights Saints football team, also executive producer of the Frank Beckman Show with WJR. Chris, thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, again, thanks, Chris. We'll do it again soon.
You got it. Anytime.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. We're talking sports till 9 o'clock inside the Cave with Ian Wentz and John Kane.
We are so grateful to our local heroes, those serving our community every day. To the people working at our grocery stores, we are encouraged by your bravery as you keep our homes stocked with food. To our first responders, how we are grateful for your courage when you come to the need of our community. To our medical personnel and their support teams working on the front lines to combat this deadly virus. Words are not enough to express our gratitude. So as a community, let us join together while keeping appropriate social distancing and tell our local heroes how much we love and appreciate their sacrifice and the sacrifices of their loved ones. May God's mighty hand protect and guide each of you during these uncertain times.
This message is brought to you by 3-Dimensional Physical Therapy, 3D PT, because people matter.
At the CPA firm of Donna Baker and Associates, they aren't just available at tax time. They're available all year long, providing expertise in a large range of individual and business services, including federal and state tax returns, startup planning, and consultation. Directing you through today's complex and ever-changing tax and accounting environments takes more than a once-a-year service. Donna Baker and Associates, partnering with clients to build a successful future. Find them in downtown Adrian, on Facebook, and online at donnabakercpa.com.
A specialty pet store doesn't mean higher prices. At Red Mill Pet Supplies, it means a healthier selection. Our experienced staff will help make sure you get the best nutritional value for your pet, and our frequent buyer program will help you save when you shop with us. For your dogs, cats, small animals, fish, reptiles, and birds, all your pets need for a healthier, happier life can be found at Red Mill Pet Supplies, across from McDonald's in Tecumseh, and at redmillpetsupplies.com.
Hi, this is Dennis from Abbey Carpet and Floor, and it's easier than ever to tap into the convenience of smart home technology during the Hunter Douglas Smart Shade Savings Event that's going on now through September 7th. Enjoy valuable rebates starting at $150 on qualifying purchases of Hunter Douglas motorized shades like insulating duet honeycomb shades or dramatic pirouette window shades or the revolutionary Sonnet cellular roller shades, all equipped with the advanced wireless technology of PowerView motorization. Using this smart technology, the associated smart hub, and the mobile devices you use every day, you can easily program your motorized shades to move automatically to the scenes and schedules you set. Plus, PowerView integrates easily with some of the most popular home automation systems, intelligent shades, and smart savings. Connect with rebates now through September 7th. Limitations and restrictions apply, so ask us for details. Abbey Carpet and Floor, America's choice in floor fashion since 1958.
As you feel the blades of grass tickle your bare feet, a subtle breeze stirs the green leaves overhead. There you are, sipping a cold drink, admiring the beauty and solitude of your own landscaped backyard. The realization has set in. Calling Sealers Landscape and Design was the best and easiest decision you've ever made. Their 3D design program brought your paradise to life. Now for the tough decision, where to put the hammock. Call Sealers Landscape and Design at 442-4823 for a free estimate today.
We've been doing business in downtown Tecumseh since 1982. Hi, this is Ed Hall with Carpet on Wheels. That's 38 years as a family-owned local business. Of course, we couldn't have done it without the support of our clients, but there's something to be said about being around for so long. We carry newer selections of floor covering, window treatments, and area rugs. We professionally install everything we sell. Stop in, see for yourself. Get the quality you need and the service you deserve at Carpet on Wheels.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle on Inside the Cave. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on 96.5 FM. We give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players. And get you ready to start your day.
Sweet, man.
Grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass because it's time to go Inside the Cave. Weekday mornings 7 to 9 on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com.
Are your floors screaming for a makeover? If so, O'Connor & Sons Floor Covering in Tecumseh, with their combined 160 years of experience, wants to help. O'Connor & Sons sell and install many styles of floor covering. They have the area's largest selection of luxury vinyl tile and planks, which are completely waterproof. O'Connor & Sons also carries Cali Bamboo, which are the world's hardest floors. Pet problems? No worries. They have pet-proof carpet that is guaranteed against all pet stains. O'Connor & Sons Floor Covering on Russell Road in Tecumseh. Call them at 423-6170, or for more information, check them out on Facebook at O'Connor & Sons Flooring.
If it's sports and you're thinking about it, we're talking about it. 96.5 The Cave.
8:28 Inside the Cave, Thursday, August 6, 2020. Ian Wentz, John Kane with you Inside the Cave. A big thank you again to Chris Renwick, voice of Siena Heights Saints football, being on the show with us for this morning.
What was that all about?
Jeff Bowman poking his head through the studio. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's wearing his Michigan face mask. He must have heard my predictions, and he was going to come in to tell me something, but too late.
Okay.
Only about a half hour left
He
of the
was
show.
going to come in to tell you something.
Yeah.
He didn't do it, so we're all better for it.
Whew, good. I want to get to some NBA picks, and John, you have some probably some words for me after my picks last week. But
we got to get this other stuff done first.
Yep, a lot of homework to get done here.
Let's do Michigan State here.
This is their revised 2020 schedule. Week 1, September 5th. They go, they get a home game. Taking on the Gophers, the Golden Gophers, Spartans. First game for head coach Mel Tucker. What do you think?
I know this works out for Minnesota, They get to go to East Lansing to play the game, and then it's just as easy to send their scouts down to Ann Arbor to watch Michigan-Purdue, who they take on next week. So, I don't see Michigan State winning this game, but this is the absolute best time to be playing Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
First game of the year.
Quality team is week 1.
Right. First game of the year. The problem for the Spartans is they have, I don't know, they got more question marks than the Riddler on that squad.
That's a pretty good one. I buy that one.
Okay.
That's not bad.
So, an entirely new defensive front now. Who's going to be the quarterback? You were
right.
Who? What?
The only quarterback I know on the roster is Rocky Lombardi, and he limped them through a Rutgers win.
And so he's not even listed, number 1 right now, or what?
Yeah, that from what I saw, that was from back in June.
Okay.
So, that's probably an open competition for Michigan State. I think
it's Lombardi and who?
I closed the window, John. I don't know.
Anyway,
a redshirt freshman.
Yeah,
I know
redshirt freshman. So he's never taken a snap in his collegiate career. Obviously, if he's a redshirt freshman. So nobody knows what's going to go on with Michigan State at the quarterback. They just got a lot of question marks, and but I think this is a good opener. If they stay with Minnesota in this game forever, how long, it goes, that's all good for the Spartans. But I don't see them winning it, and I think Minnesota wins by a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, I think if they're within 10 points, they being Michigan State, I'll count that as a win for Sparty. They're not going to win. There's just too much there for Minnesota. It'll be a good tune-up game for them to take on the Spartans. Next week, they go out east to Maryland to take on the Terrapins. I think that'll be the first win at Michigan State for Mel Tucker.
Well,
the
it's
default talent level, I think it's still a little higher at Michigan State.
It's definitely a must-win. There's not too many teams on the schedule, but that the Spartans would be
favored.
Favored. I think they might only be favored in 3 games. They might be favored at Maryland, although that one could be closer to a toss-up. Might be favored at home the next week against Northwestern, and we'll talk about that game. And they're obviously definitely going to be favored against Rutgers at home. I don't know that they'll be favored in any other games.
So do you think they beat Maryland?
I think it's a toss-up, but I think it's a must-win for them. They got to win that game.
You're sounding like a politician.
Well,
you're saying a lot of stuff without saying anything.
That's
who's going to win?
They got to win.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a toss-up.
Okay, what direction is it going then?
I'm going to say Maryland by a half point.
Okay. Next week, they're home September 19th against Northwestern, the team they were going to start their season with.
I think is too bad.
Yeah, I think
in the original schedule, I think they beat Northwestern up in East Lansing. I'm not so sure they can do it by the third game.
Northwestern's trending up. Michigan State obviously trending down. I think Northwestern goes into East Lansing and gets a win that a lot of people will say is a bad loss for Michigan State. It won't be. Northwestern's a decent ball club. Still a lot of unknowns for Michigan State. So Sparty, for me, starts off 0-2 at home.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with Michigan State getting this one at home.
Really?
Yep. They got to have it.
Oh, I thought you were going to.
No, they got to have it.
Okay.
It's going to be a squeaker, but they got to have this one. So I'm going with the Spartans to win that one.
So you have Mel Tucker's first win.
That's right.
Week 3.
Right.
Okay. Next week.
What a stretch they got coming here.
Yeah, next week they make a trip out to the Valley that won't be very happy for Michigan State. Playing the Nittany Lions, one of the favorites in the Big Ten. Close your eyes. That's going to be tough. But, the only hope, I'd say, for Spartan fans is how they've been able to compete with Ohio State. The upper team, they're not getting blown out. This could be a blowout. This could be ugly for Michigan State.
Right. There's no question. But, yeah, and I don't think Michigan State wins this game. Penn State would have to lose it.
Oh, they'd have to be 5 turnovers, blocked field goal, blocked punt, onside kicks, everything, right?
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're done with that mess?
Yeah.
Okay. Game number 2 in this tough stretch for Michigan State. They travel to Ann Arbor. Take on Michigan. Michigan wants to win that game by 40. I think they might. Unless everything is falling in place for Michigan State and they're the miracle Cinderella story of college football, which is extremely unlikely. Michigan wins this thing by, and this might be a hyperbole, but like 35 points.
Well, we just have to see. I mean, I'm thinking the only way that Michigan State could ever win this game is if Michigan just can't get it together. The questions that they have offensively, especially.
Right, yeah.
But the thing is, excuse me, I think Michigan is going to be good enough defensively to win this game just with their defense, even if the offense is not clicking at all.
Right. The only way that they would lose is if they have trouble with the snap.
Yeah, right.
Michigan State gets a bye week after Michigan. Then they get to host their next game. Unfortunately, it's against the Buckeyes. Brutal stretch, John, like you said. Penn State, Michigan, and then Ohio State. I'll let you pick this one first.
The way Ohio State's playing on the road doesn't really bother them. We've seen what they've done at the Big House. It doesn't bother them. They just simply have their recruiting has been top 5 for how many years now, and and their current class is number 1. They have the players. They've got the guy taking the snaps. This one is I don't see any way Michigan State could win this game. And
Ohio State's a football machine.
Yeah, and I think Ohio State will win by 4 or 5.
100
touchdowns.
Oh, yep. I agree with everything you said. Ohio State's a football power nationally. Michigan State, a lot of questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of unknowns, and a lot of them are in the negative direction for Michigan State. So the Buckeyes take care of the green and white. Then, one of those games that MSU might be favored if they're not already beaten down by Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. They host Rutgers. What does Sparty do there?
They're going to win this game if they have enough players to put on the field after going through that 3-week stretch.
Yeah.
If they stay out of the injury situation, I mean, they're going to be metal tested because of the previous month. So if they're not banged up, yeah, they win this game, and by 2 touchdowns, because they can, I think, and they have to.
I agree. Just a better pool of players. Rutgers, they're just in the cellar for the foreseeable future. Michigan State has to win this game, and I think they will.
Rutgers would have to be ecstatic to be able to play their first game this year, the way things are going over at that program.
Speaking of that, with COVID-19, I did want to break away real quick. We do have to go to break. Some good news for Lions fans. This didn't make the sports update. Kenny Galladay
is back on the squad.
Yep, he is off the COVID-19 reserve list. So a false positive for Stafford. Kenny Galladay back in the fold for the Detroit Lions. We're going to take a break, finish up Michigan State's schedule for this season, and might want to shut your eyes, Spartan fans. It's going to be a tough one. We'll be back inside the cave.
Long Motor Sales in Tecumseh is asking for your help. Please do your part and wear a face mask while you are in public spaces. Do it for the kids, if not for yourself. We want our kids to be able to go back to school this fall. A friendly reminder that you can shop Long's current inventory online at longmotorsales.net.
New to the lot this week at Long Motor Sales is a gold 2012 Buick LaCrosse. This mid-size 4-door sedan offers comfort and convenience, a hefty V6 engine, and only 112,000 miles. It's in great condition and priced just right at $10,795. Stop in and tell Eric you want to take this car for a ride today.
If your vehicle needs an oil change or a major overhaul or repair, take it to Long's Automotive Service. Nathan Long has over 15 years of experience as a certified technician, giving you dealership quality service at a low price. Long Motor Sales and Long Automotive Service in Tecumseh. Long, a name you know and trust.
It's summertime. It's hot, dusty, and dirty, and your car needs to be washed. Where do you go? Imagine a crystal palace with a runway where your car glides through a series of steps and your pride and joy is blown dry by angel wings. Okay, maybe that's a bit too much, but Sudsy Does a Car Wash does bless your vehicle with the highest quality of solutions and equipment to lift your car to a higher level of clean. We know you want your car to look great, so try Sudsy Does a Car Wash in Tecumseh.
Sudsy Does a Car Wash, Gary's Quick Lube too.
At DNP Communications, we value our community partnerships by ensuring when you work with us, you'll have the means to operate your business at peak functionality. Now, for a limited time, new customers can take advantage of our summer business bundle and get 175 meg internet connection paired with one business class phone line for $124.95 per month. DNP Communications, connecting you to what matters most.
We are selling and replacing cars on our lot every day. In fact, on any given day, you can find out what's coming in next. This is Josh Hawley, General Sales Manager at Suburban Chevrolet of Clinton. Don't miss your opportunity to buy your next new or pre-owned vehicle from us. If you don't see it on our lot or website, stop in to see what's coming soon. We're just a short drive from anywhere in Lenawee, Jackson, and Hillsdale County because we are on the corner of M52 and US 12. Home of the lifetime warranty. Trucktown, Suburban Chevrolet of Clinton.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle on Inside the Cave. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on 96.5 FM. We give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players and get you ready to start your day.
Sweet, man.
Grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass because it's time to go Inside the Cave. Weekday mornings 7 to 9 on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com.
You'll hit a home run every time with Hayes Insurance Agency.
Their team of independent agents will cover all the bases
and find you the right policy at the best price.
For your car, your home, your business, whatever you need.
Hayes Insurance, serving residents of Lenawee County and beyond for over a half century.
Call 517-423-8316.
Call Hayes Insurance, get all the insurance you need.
Or visit HayesINS.com. In 1968, Tigers great Jim Northrup hit 2 grand slams in one game.
And ever since, the Hayes Insurance Agency has been hitting grand slams for all its customers in Lenawee County and beyond.
For your car, your home, your farm, your business, count on Hayes Insurance Agency.
On Occidental Highway between Adrian and Tecumseh.
Call 517-423-8316.
Call Hayes Insurance, get all the insurance you need.
Or visit HayesINS.com.
Real big hits, really big plays. We're talking about it. 96.5 The Cave.
Ian Wads, John Kane, Inside the Cave, 8:45 this morning. Glad to have you along with us. We're here till 9 o'clock, going through the Michigan State football team revised 2020 schedule. It's a tough stretch, but October 24th, we have them beating Rutgers. And then the next week, Halloween, they travel west to take on the Hawkeyes of Iowa.
You know, I don't see how they can win this game. I mean, it's not a big rivalry, natural rivalry. Can't use that angle. The Big Ten West is going to be incredibly balanced, I think, this year. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Indiana. Even some people are saying Nebraska could challenge for the. There's not a, you know, all of those clubs are close to one another, and I don't see it. I think Iowa wins it by 2 TDs.
It's always been tougher to win out there for Michigan State. You know, Nebraska gives them fits. Iowa gives them fits. Maybe if it's in East Lansing, it's a different story.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be comfortable going Iowa by 7 to 10 points.
You know, the Spartans seem to have trouble when they have to cross the Mississippi.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't see them winning that game. I mean, anything's possible, but I'm going 2 touchdowns in Iowa.
The team you just mentioned, Michigan State, plays next. The first game in November, home against the Hoosiers. Bad memories.
Right.
Playing Indiana.
Right. You know, we don't know Indiana's schedule. We don't have that pulled up. But to be able to get, you know, they only play how many, 2 or 3 games? How many games they play against the other division in this? They've got to play 6 divisional games.
Right.
So that
Iowa,
gives them,
Indiana, Nebraska.
Yeah. So
Northwestern? Are they in the West?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's the 4.
So you got 4. So Indiana catches a break because, you know, they've got championship aspirations down there, winning the title, the West title. And because they're on the rise. Indiana is a club on the rise. And they've
Indiana's
been given
got a tough schedule.
Yeah, and they've been giving the big boys some fits. So to be able to catch Michigan State as a team that they have to play from the other division on a down year, they're going to take advantage of that. And I think they can come in and beat the Spartans.
This might be closer than the Iowa game. Indiana's giving Michigan State trouble.
They give Michigan trouble.
They give Michigan trouble. They give the Buckeyes a run for their money sometimes. They're pesky.
Yeah.
Real quick, you mentioned their schedule. They got a tough start. At Wisconsin, Penn State, Illinois, at Ohio State, at Minnesota, and then Michigan. How about that?
Yeah,
for the first 5. So the last 5. Actually, 4: Maryland, Rutgers, Michigan State, Purdue.
Yeah.
So
they got a really front-loaded schedule.
Yes, they'll need to fall apart for Michigan State to beat them, and they will not. Bye week, the 14th, then they take on Nebraska on the road.
Some people are actually talking about Nebraska with divisional championship aspirations. I mean, I don't buy it. I don't see that they can win the West. They still don't have it put together yet with Frost out there, and the Cornhusker faithful are not going to give him forever to get this thing done. They could be better this year. I think it's a game at Nebraska, and again, Spartans got to cross the Mississippi to get there. I don't see him winning that game, but I think it might be a little closer than some people think because I'm not super high on Nebraska, but I think Nebraska wins this one by 10 at home.
Yeah, so most of these picks, I've gone with logic. I haven't gone with big upsets. I'm going, look, this team is way better. I think if there is a game on the schedule for Michigan State that they could be close in going into it, that they could win and surprise people, I think it's this one. I think if they beat Nebraska, it would be an upset, number one. Number two, they got a bye week before. I think that could be a big factor in that. And there's no pressure. Just go play football. It's your last week. We made it through the season. I'm going with this we don't have the point spread for each or the favorites. I'm going with an upset here, assuming Michigan State's the underdog. I think they go to Nebraska.
They will
and
be.
That might be the game that ends the experiment at Nebraska. Could you imagine that?
Well, I don't see him doing the upset here. I got 2 other games that the Spartans could maybe pull the upset.
Minnesota. And Iowa?
No. Indiana.
Okay.
Those would be my 2 games. And, you talk Indiana. The game's in East Lansing, but I think Indiana's going to be favored in that game.
Yes.
And so those are the 2 games I look at as being an upset as opposed to the game at Nebraska.
So either way, it looks to be a tough season for Michigan State. I have the one upset of Nebraska. I think, based on the schedule and what we know right now, this team could go 3-7. John, 2-8.
Yeah.
If both happen, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. No.
If they beat any of these other teams,
that's gravy.
Yeah, I might have to fill in that Monday after the game. Like, look, Jeff, John, I know this is your show, but they beat Penn State, and I need to be here.
Oh,
I don't know if
no. Come on, you need to pick one. Go with a Minnesota game and say right off the bat they pulled it off. Who knows what's going to happen this year? I need to hop in as an extra third here.
Yeah, I'll call in. That's fine.
You can hit the thing on the thing that it'll be oh baby a triple because there would be 3 of you yakking about.
Oh baby a triple.
So.
Oh yeah.
We are almost out of time. We need to mention Diamond League. Hello.
Telling you, we need a 4-hour show. Get here at 3 a.m. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you are kidding.
Yeah.
So we got Diamond League action tonight, right?
Yep. Thursday night, it's Addison, Sand Creek. The loser
is out.
They will not be in the playoffs.
Right.
The winner could still make it.
Addison trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. So I'm actually going to be out at Cave Stadium tonight for that one, along with Jeff Bowman. So tune it in there. We're getting down close. You know, we got tonight, we got Saturday afternoon, and next week is the end of the regular season. And there's all kinds of stuff that can happen, you know?
Yes, things are falling into place.
Things are falling into place. As a matter of fact, I think we've only had one team clinch a spot.
Yes.
I believe Clinton has clinched the division title, so they are in. But the other three spots are up for grabs.
John, we saved this to the last minute.
We did?
We talked about it last week, and you were going to tell me about it when I got my NBA picks wrong when the league went back to work in the bubble.
We only had 2 games. I wasn't expecting you to get any of them right, so that's okay.
Well, I didn't. I picked the winner for the Lakers-Clippers. I was off on the spread.
Yeah, way off.
And I was off on the spread and picked the loser for the Pelicans-Jazz.
Yeah, right. You're way off because you gave me 8 points in the Clippers in that game, and they only won by a deuce.
I did.
So
I was surprised. Well, I want to keep that going. Hopefully throughout the season we'll keep score and see who's the better picker.
Well, we'll have to come back with that next Thursday because we don't have time for me to even think about it. I just have to say somebody without any kind of thought or analysis or anything.
So the rest of the show?
Yeah, the rest of the show. We got like a minute.
Okay.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
So,
that's it for us. 9 o'clock. DA show finishes things up. 10 o'clock will be Pat McAfee.
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
I will be here tomorrow.
Who have you got tomorrow?
I will be with Pat.
Oh,
the
Pat.
normal Friday man. I'll be stepping in for Jeff Bowman. A big thank you again, Jeff, for coming in on Wednesday.
All right. I'll be back next Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Great show. Thanks again to Chris Renwick for taking the time this morning to talk to us. Saints football is a go as of right now. Be sure to tune in tomorrow Inside the Cave, 7 until 9 o'clock here on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com. Have a great day.
We are so grateful to our local heroes, those serving our community every day. To the people working at our grocery stores, we are encouraged by your bravery as you keep our homes stocked with food. To our first responders, how we are grateful for your courage when you come to the need of our community. To our medical personnel and their support teams, working on the front lines to combat this deadly virus. Words are not enough to express our gratitude. So as a community, let us join together while keeping appropriate social distancing and tell our local heroes how much we love and appreciate their sacrifice and the sacrifices of their loved ones. May God's mighty hand protect and guide each of you during these uncertain times.
This message is brought to you by 3-Dimensional Physical Therapy, 3DPT, because people matter.
We all know that Salsarias has fantastic authentic Mexican dishes like the signature Baja chicken salad and the queso blanco. What you might not know is they do catering platters for offices, schools, and events that they will deliver. Holy guacamole! Salsarias is open Monday through Saturday at 11 a.m. for inside and patio dining as well as for carryout. Find specials on Facebook. Call 423-0018 to order or come in and enjoy a beverage from their full bar along with a great lunch or dinner in downtown Tecumseh at Salsarias.
Is your asphalt driveway cracking? Does it need maintenance after years of wear and tear? This is Rocky from K&B Asphalt Paving and Seal Coating. We do seal coating, hot rubber crack filling, and unlike others, we also do our own striping, patching, and paving. We are your one-stop shop for all your driveway and parking lot needs. We have 25 years of expertise and are fully insured for commercial and residential work. Visit us online or call 264-2541 for more information. At K&B Asphalt, we pledge to keep our customers satisfied by providing expert service with quality materials at a competitive price.
Hello, I'm Mike Basham, the new service manager at Suburban Chevrolet of Clinton. This month we are offering special pricing on oil changes, 10% off any brake service, and savings on our BG air conditioning system deodorizer and performance enhancer. Remember, the Suburban Care program gets you 3 oil changes, 3 tire rotations, and 3 multi-point inspections for one low price. Busy schedule? We offer full service on Saturdays from 8 until 2, and also a fleet of loaner vehicles with a reservation. Get your vehicle ready for summer at Suburban Chevrolet of Clinton.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle on Inside the Cave. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on 96.5 FM. We give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players. And get you ready to start your day.
Sweet, man.
Grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass because it's time to go Inside the Cave. Weekday mornings 7 to 9 on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com.
The best in regional sports from Southeast Michigan. WLEN Adrian, HD2, W243AD, 96.5 The Cave.
96.5 The Cave. Lenawee County Sports.